Hi, this is Carlus Gupton with Hope Network with an observation about three important disciplines during a time of crisis. I read about these disciplines in an article that was published in Conversation Journal, where they highlighted the leadership of Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, and the way that she was handling the crisis and leading her country through that crisis. And they compared her leadership to Mayfield's theory of crisis communication and public leadership in times of crisis. And they highlighted three characteristics of her leadership: direction giving, meaning making, and empathy. Direction giving, meaning making, and empathy. Now, think about each of those three for just a moment. And let's not focus so much on the outcome of what has happened in New Zealand with the crisis versus other countries, because it's really not the outcome so much as it is the trajectory of her leadership that was being focused on. Because each of us understands, whether it's from her or from whoever during a time like this, we need direction, right? We want people who help us to find our way through, who shine the light ahead. It's kind of like when we're walking in the darkness out in the country and there are no lights. Whoever has the flashlight and gives the good directions, they're the ones that we follow, because we need somebody to show us the way through. Now, I think that translates not only in terms of the way we lead, we need to be giving good direction. And I'll never forget, not long ago, when I heard an elder team at a church, boy, they gave such wonderful direction for their congregation through this time and just gave a step-by-step procedure as to how things were going to be done. And it gave a kind of capacity of order and structure to what was happening. And it was very good. So it's not only from leaders that we need it, we also need it as a gift to ourselves. So as you're going through a crisis like this, read things, traffic in things, watch things that give you direction, that help you to navigate the time. Don't read what discourages you constantly and brings you down, and be so careful about engaging in too much social media or listening to a lot of 24/7 news or whatever it might be. And certainly be careful about watching movies about pandemics during a time like this. They don't give us a lot of direction. What we need during a time like this are people who are able to say, here's the way through. But then secondly, there's meaning making. Meaning making. How do we make sense of everything that's going on with us? That's an important discipline during this time too, not only finding our way through, but being able to understand the contours of our experience. Now, sometimes that comes through listening to good teachers, to listening to good Bible expositors, to listening to good sermons, but other times it just comes by having good conversations where we're reflecting on what's happening with us, with other people we love. And however, we have to have those conversations in our time of virtual connection versus actual physical connection, we can still do that, to be able to have those kinds of interactions with others that help us. But other times it's a matter of journaling, reading scripture, listening to books or to actual scripture passages that help us to find some degree of meaning, even in the midst of these grave difficulties, whether that be lamenting or hoping and praying. However, we find that we need to posture ourselves to find the greatest meaning through this. We need it. But then third is empathy. Empathy. That was one of the highlights of her leadership in as she was taking her country through this, is that she empathized with those who were losing so much. And we are losing a lot. And what we're not losing, we're just confused about during this time. We wish we could just kind of take off and go somewhere when we're not able to. We wish we could sort of go out and do things that we can't. And then the losses of others and the difficulties that others face is much, much deeper than anything that I've just mentioned. Well, empathy is a wonderful touch of human experience, to where we identify with the feelings and the concerns of ourselves as well as others. And we help each other through and realize that none of us is really at our best during a time like this, and that we need to give each other lots of grace. So direction giving, meaning making, and empathy. 3 important disciplines to make it through a time of crisis. God bless you and all of us as we weather these difficult times.